I'm ready.
Now, from 21Alive Plus, this is your Fastcast.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us for your 21Alive Plus Fastcast for Thursday, April 17th. We are chugging through the week, Liz. It's already Thursday.
I know. We're getting closer and closer. Easter weekend coming up, and a lot to talk about in the forecast because especially for anyone that's maybe hosting family, getting ready for services.
Getting ready for Easter egg hunts.
Easter egg hunts, yes. No matter what the age, no judgment here. We need to talk the latest on how things are looking for shower and storm chances. So let's go ahead and go into the latest. Every morning this week, we've been starting you out on the morning show talking about that severe weather outlook and how things are looking for tomorrow night. Now, this is very similar to what I've been showing the past few days. I'm going to zoom out. Everything you're seeing in yellow, stretching from Michigan down to Texas, is that level 2 of 5 slight risk for severe weather. That includes all of 21 country, but we've seen a little bit of a difference in the eastward extent of this slight risk. It's been trimmed back a little bit to the point where Mercer County is kind of half and half between that level 2 in yellow and the level 1 downgraded in green. That's that marginal risk for severe weather. So let me show you the latest timeline. Things pushing back a little bit in some of our models. And again, it's looking to be dry during the day. So all of this storm chancing is going to be later at night, and something that we have to consider because later at night is going to have a little less energy. So during the day tomorrow, we reach a high of 78 degrees. We will be just shy of 80. We're going from a freezing morning right now, 32 as our morning low earlier this morning, up to near 80. Tomorrow, a big turnaround, and during the day will be dry, partly cloudy, some peaks of sun, a few rolling clouds, but limiting factors in place for the day will keep the day dry and quiet, but windy at that. Now, the thing that's going to trigger any storms is the cold front, which you can already see is starting to trigger some of those storms past about 10 p.m. I think that those storm chances creep up from 10 p.m. to midnight, and past midnight will linger with some of them. This is about 2:30 at this point on Future Track, showing some of those clusters of storms. Now, somewhere in the state as a whole, there is the chance for a handful of storms to reach strong to severe status. The main reason for that would be the potential for gusty winds, but I don't think every storm will reach that point. So this is something where before you go to bed tomorrow night, if you have loose outdoor patio furniture, maybe some decorations, things like that, yeah, go ahead and put them away. Have a way to get alerts, but this is not raising a red flag to me as a major situation or a major outbreak. So just something to keep in mind. A big reason for that, again, is just because if we were to push this timeline about 4 to 6 hours up, then we could be talking about a different situation with more daytime heating and more severe weather ingredients. But we just don't look to have that. As we go into the weekend, we'll have some on and off chances for rain for Saturday and Sunday. Jess, one of our models for this weekend, is trying to trend that rain just a little bit more to the south, which could mean some more dry breaks for Saturday and Sunday. So my advice for the holiday, whether you're going to be celebrating on Saturday or Sunday, depending on what your plans look like as a family, I would suggest before you go out for any of those Easter egg hunts, just pull up radar. You can do that with our 21Alive First Alert Weather app and take a quick look at how things are looking and trending in your area, because we will have some dry breaks to work with. But something else you might want to keep in mind is how soggy that lawn might be. I don't want the kids to be tracking in the mud if it were my house, so that is something you'll want to keep in mind too.
All right, Liz, that is a fair concern. Nobody wants that soggy mud being tracked into the house from the Easter egg hunt. All right, Liz, thanks so much. We just have a couple of stories we want to tell you about this morning, and I apologize, I cannot bring the words up on the screen this morning, but we just want to tell you about 2 bills. This one that we're talking about now targets pricing at nonprofit hospitals, and it's going to be moving forward. House Bill 1004 passed the Senate and is now heading back to the House. It seeks to reduce healthcare costs at the state's 5 nonprofit hospital systems, and that includes Parkview and IU Health. It also says if the hospital charges more than state standards, it could be penalized and even lose its nonprofit status. Now, another bill we're following this morning considers a Senate bill that would regulate Delta 8, which is a marijuana-like substance legally sold at gas stations and smoke shops. The bill would keep Delta 8 products from being sold or marketed to children and also calls for age limits and more testing. Business owners would have to obtain a state permit to sell it, and the amended bill now heads to the Senate for approval. Of course, all of these bills going through the State House are something we are following closely for you guys, so we will make sure to keep you updated on the status of both of these bills. And there are lots of others. I just picked 2 of them that we're following, but there are lots of bills that we are following that you can find more information about on 21alivenews.com. But that's all we have for today. I'm going to leave you guys on a live look at your in-dot cameras this morning. It's a shame that we can't see the sunrise in these because we had a beautiful sunrise this morning. I'm going to have to run out and check it out after this and see if it's still coming up out there.
Not too long ago when Erin Okeson was in here from Visit Fort Wayne, I was talking to her about the beautiful sunrises we've had this week. But this is the time of year when that sun comes up, you realize how quickly you have to get a car wash.
Oh, yes.
And I realized very quickly that I need to hit up a car wash.
Well, I actually do have a free car wash right now. Perhaps I should use it today on my way home. But, you know, I always get iffy because if we've got rain on the way, that kind of dirties your car back up. So I never know when.
Listen, you get into this mentality. My dad yells at me about this all the time because I'm like, oh, well, there's going to be rain tomorrow, the day after. He goes, you'll play this game all spring.
Yeah.
You just have to bite the bullet at some point.
I'm hyper aware of the weather because I'm friends with a meteorologist. I think that's where it comes from because about 5 years ago, I would have never thought twice about it. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for listening to our little podcast here at the end of the show. We hope you guys have a great Thursday, and we're back again tomorrow.